So what is the nearest experience you can have of flying? That's being in an aeroplane, yes. And people, they go paragliding also. Yeah. So that could be the most nearest experience. And man has always been fascinated by flying. That's why, yes, we had the Wright brothers there. They're great, you can say what this the airplane that they made the first attempt at flying. And now we have very fast jets and which fly at a great speed. And yes, we're able to cover distance within no time at all. Now, when you look at birds, it seems as if it's very natural for them. They just, like they come out of the eggs, and it seems as within a couple of days, they'll be out of the nest and flying. Right? And what if I tell you that even the birds, like they go through the same process as you do as youngsters? Do you remember your first steps that you took when you learned to walk? Mother must have told you about it, right? And when you see the little babies also around you, that how like you have to hold their hand, and yes, they'll fall down also, make them stand up again, and then gradually you learn to walk and run. And now though you are so big ki pakad mein nahi aate ho, isn't it? Right? So here it is. Yes, so as we grow, we all learn so many things. And this is one basic thing, we think that every child will eventually learn to walk, right? But for that also, yes, you need a little bit of encouragement. Your mother is there holding you and making sure that you don't fall, right? And she'll be there standing in front of you. Okay, walk one step towards me, 2 steps towards me, and gradually you start covering a longer distance. Now, what about birds? How do they learn to fly? How do the birds learn to fly? It's in their genes, is it? How do the birds learn to fly? Yes, the mother teaches them. Okay, how nice, Shantanu. Yes, the mother teaches them. And it's true. So do you think that birds also get scared? The mother throws them out of the nest. Some places it happens, some birds we do read about, yeah, that yes, the mothers, they throw the birds, the little chicks out of the nest, and they just have to learn to fly. Right? So it is whatever the way that they learn, it is very natural for them to learn this art of flying, or this habit that they have, or this ability that they have to fly. And we are so fascinated by them. Let's see how lucky they are and what wonders they have, what a great power they have that they can fly. What about seagulls? Seagulls. Where do we find seagulls? Yeah, where do we find seagulls? Yes. Near the water? Yeah, obviously near the sea, near the coast. That is where we find them. And where do they make their nests? Where do the seagulls make their nests? Where do seagulls make their nests? If it is near the sea, if it is near the coast here, and where do they make their nests then? Not necessarily on the ground, on the high cliffs, very high cliffs, they make that, right? Yes. So we are here, yeah, seagulls here. So on the high cliffs, that is where they make their nests. And the little bird, as it is going to learn to fly, it's going to fly above the land, it's going to fly above the sea. And yes, let us read this very sweet story, I'll say, about the little seagull and how it learned to fly. And yes, you can relate here. It is quite a relatable incident, that just like your parents, your brothers and sisters, how they behave when you are learning something new, how they encourage you. Sometimes they're very angry at you, and that why you're not doing this properly, right? So this is a small incident like that, where this little seagull learns to fly. He's a little afraid at first. His brothers and sisters much braver than him. They've learned to fly, and how the parents are going to motivate that little bird to fly. Okay, so let's have a look at the screen now. Let's start with the chapter. So 2 stories about flying, and yes, we know that man has been fascinated with the birds and the way they fly. And so that's why we have these very super fast jets and the planes, and we've gone almost to that near experience of flying. His first flight. The young seagull was alone on his ledge. The seagull, the coastal areas, yes. And right, we talk about the coastal areas. There's a hills also over there. There are these cliffs nearby. And at the highest, you can say projection, or that higher level over there of that cliff with the ledge, that protruding part of the cliff. Where was that little seagull? It was on the ledge. His two brothers and his sister had already flown away the day before. So his two brothers and sisters, they learned how to fly and they left the nest, flown the nest. He had been afraid to fly with them. So he's not as brave as them, and he's not yet learned to fly. Somehow, when he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. And yeah, so he ran towards the edge of the ledge, towards the brink of the ledge. He tried to flap his wings, and then he became afraid. He did not take that plunge. He did not take that final leap, right, of the comfort of the ledge where his nest was, where his home was. The great expanse of sea stretched down beneath, and it was such a long way down, miles down. So that great expanse of sea was there below him. If he had left the ledge, if he had left the cliff, he would be flying above the sea. And as he looked, it was there, this vast expanse of sea was there. And it was such a long way down, miles down. If he would have been unable to fly, there were chances, yes, he would have fallen down, hurt himself, right? So he got a little scared. And it's very natural. He felt certain that his wings would never support him. So he bent his head and ran away back to the little hole under the ledge where he slept at night. So he felt that my wings are not going to support me. I will not be able to fly. And so what did he do? What did the little bird do? Went back to the little hole under the ledge where he slept at night. So that ledge, that projection which was there on the cliff, so it's just, there's a hole over there where the nest is there, and he's gone and hid himself over there. Even when each of his brother and his little sisters, whose wings were far shorter than his own, ran to the brink, flapped their wings and flew away, he failed to muster up courage to take the plunge which appeared to him so desperate. So he's wondering that his brothers and sisters, their wings are shorter than him, and how did they take that plunge? How are they brave enough to run to the edge of the ledge and they just flapped their wings and flew away? So he could not do that. So he was afraid and he came back. His father and mother had come around calling to him shrilly, upbraiding him, threatening to let him starve on his ledge unless he flew away, but for the life of him, he could not move. So his parents were there. They were angry at him, and they, encouraging him to come out. They're scolding him also that, why are you scared? But no, he would not, move from there. He would not try to flap his wings because he was feeling afraid. That was 24 hours ago. So the day before, his brothers and sisters, they had flapped the wings and ran to the edge of the ledge, right, to the brink of the ledge, and they flew away. But he did not gather the courage, and he's just sitting over there. His parents are angry. They're saying, we will keep you hungry, won't give you food, and until you don't make an effort to fly. But the little bird is there. Since then, nobody had come near him. See how bad? Nobody came near him. His parents were not there. His brothers and sisters, everybody were ignoring him. The day before, all day long, he had watched his parents flying about with his brothers and sisters, perfecting them in the art of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves and how to dive for fish. So the whole day, what had he seen? His parents They were flying about with their brothers and sisters, and they were just flying in the sky, and they're teaching them, the parents there, how to skim the waves. Skim means you just come near the surface of the water and just touch it and just go back again. So skimming. Why was it important for the seagull? Because naturally, as it would come near the surface, if it could sight a fish, how to catch that fish? See, the little bird is going to learn to fly also, and he's going to learn how to, skim the surface of the water to scoop down on the fish that it can see, right? So, of course, life is not easy for everyone. He had, in fact, seen his older brother catch his first herring and devour it standing on a rock while his parents circled around, raising a proud cackle. So he saw his brother. So he not only flying, but coming down near the surface of the water, catching the fish. And the parents are there circling around, and they're very, proud. So making that noise, to showing that how proud they are of their son. He's done what? He's not only flying, but he's caught fish also. And all the morning, the whole family had walked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his cowardice. Okay. So what was the poor little bird experiencing? How was his family behaving? How was his family behaving? Were they cooperative? Were they cooperative? They were ignoring him, and the brothers and sisters, they had learned to fly, and this brother, what had he done? He is not only flying, but he's caught fish. And where were they? Were they on the same plateau? Were on the same place? No, they were on the plateau opposite, on the other side, and they were just taunting him. See, you can't fly. We've learned how to fly, right? And why are they behaving in such a way? Why are they behaving in such a way? Is it a nice thing to do? Yes? No, it's not a nice thing, but sometimes parents, teachers, friends, your well-wishers, they are a little bit cruel also, so that you can learn something. Yeah. So like, of course, when you started learning to walk, there were times you fell down also, you hurt yourself also, but your parents did not give up on you. They wanted you to try again and again. So the little bird, his parents there on the other side, and even though it appeared to be very cruel, we don't like the behavior. Why are they behaving like this? Right? Because they wanted the bird to become independent. They wanted the bird to learn to fly, to catch fish, to go out in the big world and be independent. Yes, and not only compete with his brothers and sisters. Yeah, right. So we've learned, yes, and similarly, the parents there, they want their child also to learn. So sometimes, yes, they do become very harsh in their behavior, ignoring, and the little bird there all alone and looking how his parents are there encouraging his brothers and sisters, feeling left out, but he's scared. Why is the little bird scared? Why doesn't he want to fly? Why doesn't he want to fly? Yes, he's scared that his wings are small and they won't be able to support him, might not be able to fly. And what is there near the ledge? Yes, near the ledge, it is what that big expanse of the sea might fall down so many miles, right? He thinks that his wings will not support him. But does it happen? Do you think, has it ever happened that a bird has not learned to fly because of fear? No. So everyone will overcome their fear. We all overcome our fear. And yes, so just like you learn to walk, let's see, the little bird also is going to learn how to fly. The sun was now ascending, the sky blazing on his ledge that faced the south. Now the sun is rising and the sky is there blazing and the ledge is now facing towards the south. He felt the heat because he had not eaten since the previous nightfall. Poor little bird is feeling very hot also because of the blazing sun, and also because he's not had anything to eat. His parents did not feed him. You come out and catch for yourself, right? He stepped slowly out to the brink of the ledge, and standing on one leg, with the other leg hidden under his wing, he closed one eye, then the other. Yes, so this little bird there is coming out and pretending to be falling asleep. So he's there coming out of the hole so his parents can see him, his brothers and sisters can see him. But what is he pretending to do? Yeah, that he's keeping his eyes closed and he's pretending that he's falling asleep, right? Still, they took no notice of him. He saw his two brothers and a sister lying on the plateau, dozing with their heads sunk into their necks. So he saw there on the plateau there opposite, he saw his brothers and his sisters, they're also dozing with their heads sunk into their necks. So that posture there, when you see the birds, like how they, like what push their head towards their neck. So that posture. His father was preening the feathers on his white back. So he's there in like cleaning his feathers with his beak, maintaining that order of the feathers, making them look very clean. Only his mother was looking at him. So nobody's noticing him. Only mother is there looking at him. Because mothers are mothers after all. So right, everybody has been very strict with him. Everyone is ignoring him. They're not encouraging him. And yes, so they're being very harsh, very strong in their treatment towards him. Only the mother has seen. See, the little bird is there, sitting over there all alone, and he's pretending to be asleep. She was standing on a little high hump on the plateau, her white breast thrust forward. So she was there on the plateau opposite. Now and again, she tore at a piece of fish that lay at her feet and then scraped each side of her beak on the rock. The little bird is hungry. And what is mother doing? She's tearing the flesh of the fish and she's scraping her beak on the rock. And she's looking at the little child, also the little bird. The sight of the food maddened him. How he loved to tear food that way, scrapping his beak now and again to whet it, W-H-E-T, whet, sharpen, right? So just like, like when your knife gets blunt and so against that another material, it is other thing, that hard like rock, it is rubbed against. Maybe that hard surface it is rubbed against to sharpen it. So here, what does he also like to do? He likes to tear his food and he likes to sharpen his beak so he can tear at the flesh, right? So he's looking at his mother doing that. He's feeling hungry. He's not had anything to eat. It's been 24 hours and his family is there ignoring him. Gaga, he cried, begging her to bring some food. Gakhola, she screamed back derisively. And but he kept calling plaintively, and after a minute or so he uttered a joyful scream. So he's there, crying and begging his mother to come towards him, and he's feeling hungry, and his mother is also screaming back derisively, okay, like fine, she's looking down on him. No, you won't get food, behave yourself, learn to fly that way. His mother had picked up a piece of the fish and was flying across to him with it. He leaned out. She's very happy. See, mother has come with the food for him. She's flying towards him. He leaned out eagerly, tapping the rock with his feet, trying to get nearer to her as she flew across. And she has the fish in her beak and she's flying towards him. And the little bird, what is he doing? He's tapping the rock with his feet. He's trying to get nearer to his mother. But when she was just opposite to him, she halted. Her wings motionless, the piece of fish in her beak almost within reach of his beak. But as she came near, she stopped, right? And the meat is there, the fish he could see in her beak, it is there just within reach. He waited a moment in surprise, wondering why she did not come nearer. And then maddened by hunger, he dived at the fish. So he's wondering that why mother is not coming near. I'm feeling so hungry. I want that fish. And because of his hunger, what did he do? He jumped towards his mother. With a loud scream, he fell outwards and downwards into space. As a result, what happened? He dived at the fish. He wanted to catch the fish, which was there in his mother's beak. As a result, what happened? He fell outwards and downwards into space. Then a monstrous terror seized him, and his heart stood still. He could hear nothing. But it only lasted a minute. The next moment, he felt his wings spread outwards. The wind rushed against his breast feathers, then under his stomach and against his wings. He could feel the tips of his wings cutting through the air. He was not falling headlong now. He was soaring gradually downwards and outwards. He was no longer afraid. He just felt a bit dizzy. Yes, what has happened? What has happened to the little bird? Mother was there carrying food towards the little bird in her beak. He learned to fly and he didn't even realize it. So he was so hungry, jumped towards the food, and yes, so he just jumped into the vast emptiness that was there in front of him and spread his wings. And gradually, yes, as the wind came, the wind made the little bird soar the wings even more wider and stronger, and he learned how to fly. It sounds very simple, isn't it? Yes. So like you just have to spread your wings and jump off the cliff and you're going to learn to fly. Is it as simple as it seems? So for the little bird, it was something quite simple. What did it have to do? What did the little bird have to do? Just overcome its fear. And how did the mother help the little bird in learning how to fly? Yes, she did not ignore him like the other members of his family, right? So like the brothers and the sister and the father there, he was there cleaning his feathers, and the brothers and sisters even dozing off in that posture with the neck, like the head towards the neck. And the mother, yes, so she realized that, see, right now he's hungry and he is going to come to for his food, and he would definitely try to lunge out and try to catch it. Yes, and in that little moment, in that little instance, the bird learned how to